Why'd I forget words when I talk? Part 1. Forgetting words is normal. When you learn English, you sometimes forget words when speaking. Many learners feel worried about this. They think, why'd I forget? Maybe I am not good at English. But this idea is not true. Forgetting words is normal for everyone who learns a language. Think about your first language. For example, in Turkish, sometimes you stop and say, "What is that word? I know it, but I cannot remember." This happens in every language, even in your mother tongue. The brain knows the word, but it does not come quickly. In English, this happens more often, because English words are still new for you. This situation is called the tip of the tongue problem. It means you know the word, but you cannot say it at the right moment. The word is on the tip of your tongue, but it does not come out. For example, maybe you know the word umbrella. But when it rains and you want to say, "I need an umbrella," the word does not come. You stop and feel nervous. Later, after some seconds, you suddenly remember, yes, umbrella. This is the tip of the tongue problem. So, the first important point is, do not panic. Forgetting words does not mean you are bad at English. It only means your brain is still practicing. Remember, your brain is like a muscle. When you exercise it, it becomes stronger. If you do not exercise, it stays weak. Speaking English is the same. Why do learners forget words? There are many reasons why learners forget words. 1. Stress and nervousness. When you feel nervous, your brain works more slowly. You want to speak correctly, but stress makes you forget. Many students say, "I know the word when I am alone, but in class or with people, I forget it." This is normal because stress blocks memory. 2. Not enough practice. If you only learn words from a list, you may remember them for one day. But if you do not use them in speaking or writing, they disappear from your memory. Our brains need repetition. 3. Translation habit. Many learners think in their first language and then translate into English. For example, they want to say, "Ben dün sinemaya gittim." First they think in Turkish, then they translate word by word. During this time, they forget one word. That is why direct translation is difficult. 4. Too many new words. Some learners try to memorize 20 to 30 new words in one day. This is too much. The brain cannot keep all the new words at once. So, many words are forgotten quickly. A positive way to see forgetting. Forgetting is not always bad. Actually, it shows that your brain is working. When you forget and then remember again, your brain is making connections. Every time you find the word again, the connection becomes stronger. Think about children learning their first language. At first, they also forget words, use the wrong word, or say, many times. But slowly, with daily practice, they stop forgetting. You are the same. You are like a child learning a new language. It takes time, but it is normal. What can you do when you forget? When you forget a word in English, you can try these ideas. Stay calm. Do not stop completely. Take a deep breath and continue. Use simple words. If you forget expensive, you can say, not cheap. If you forget angry, you can say, not happy. Explain with other words. If you forget umbrella, say something for rain. People will understand. Use gestures. Body language helps. Pointing, moving your hands, or showing the action makes meaning clear. Ask for help. You can say, "What is the word in English for?" This is natural and many people do it. The goal is not to speak perfectly. The goal is to communicate. If people understand you, you are successful. Remember, practice is the key. Every time you speak, your brain learns. The first time you forget a word, it feels difficult. The second time, it becomes a little easier. The third time, you may remember quickly. After 5 or 6 times, the word comes to your mouth without thinking. So, forgetting is part of the journey. Do not be afraid of it. Smile, try again, and keep practicing. Part 2. Why do we forget words? Many learners ask, why do I forget words when I speak English? This is an important question. If we understand the reasons, we can find solutions. In this part, we will look at different reasons why people forget words, and we will give examples for each reason. 1. Stress and nervousness. One of the biggest reasons is stress. When you speak English in front of other people, you may feel nervous. You want to be perfect, but this feeling makes your brain slow. Your memory does not work well. For example, imagine you are in class. The teacher asks you, "What did you do yesterday?" You know the words. "I watched TV. I played football." But because everyone is looking at you, you forget. You feel pressure. After class, when you are at home, you suddenly remember all the words. This happens to many students. Stress blocks memory. 2. Not enough practice. Another reason is lack of practice. Some students only read words from a list or write them in a notebook. They think, now I know this word. But in real life, when they want to use the word, they forget it. This is because our brain remembers words better when we use them in speaking and listening. Just reading is not enough. For example, if you learn the word market, you should try to say, I go to the market every week. Or, my mother buys fruit from the market. The more sentences you make, the stronger the memory becomes. 3. Translation habit. Many learners always think in their first language first, then try to translate into English. For example, a Turkish learner wants to say, Dün ödevimi yaptım. First, they think in Turkish. Then they translate word by word, yesterday, my homework, I did. During this process, they stop and forget one word. Translation takes time and energy. Sometimes the word disappears during translation. That is why teachers always say, try to think in English. It is not easy, but with practice, it becomes possible. 4. Too many new words. Another problem is learning too many words in one day. Some students write 30 to 40 new words in their notebook. They read them once, then try to memorize. But after one day, they forget most of them. Why? Because the brain cannot remember so many new words at the same time. It is better to learn fewer words, but use them often. For example, you can learn 5 new words today. Make many sentences with them, speak them, and write them. Tomorrow, learn 5 more. This way, your brain keeps them for a long time. 5. Lack of sleep and tiredness. Sometimes, forgetting words is not about English. It is about your body. If you are very tired or you did not sleep well, your memory becomes weak. Even in your first language, you may forget simple things when you are tired. That is why healthy sleep is important for learning. 6. Fear of mistakes. Many learners are afraid of making mistakes. They think, if I say the wrong word, people will laugh. This fear makes them quiet. When they finally speak, they forget words because they think too much about mistakes. But in truth, people do not laugh. Most people are happy when you try to speak English. Forgetting is part of learning. As you can see, there are many reasons for forgetting words. Stress, lack of practice, translation habit, too many new words, tiredness, and fear. But the important message is, forgetting is normal. It is not a sign of failure. It is part of the learning process. Think of learning like riding a bicycle. At first, you fall many times. But each fall is part of the process. Later, you ride without thinking. In English, forgetting words is the same. Each time you forget, you are still learning. Later, you will speak without thinking. What should you do next? Now that we understand the reasons, in the next part we will learn strategies to remember words better. We will see how to use repetition, practice, and confidence to make words stronger in your memory. So, do not worry if you forget today. Tomorrow, you will remember faster. With practice, your brain will work like a strong machine. Part 3. How to remember words better. Now we know that forgetting words is normal, and we also understand the reasons. But how can we remember words better? In this part, we will learn some useful techniques. These techniques are simple, but if you use them every day, your memory will become stronger. 1. Use the word in sentences. The best way to remember a word is to use it in sentences. Do not only read the word or write it in a notebook. For example, if the new word is library, do not only think library equals kutufane. Make many sentences. I go to the library on Monday. My friend studies in the library. The library is big and quiet. When you use the word in different sentences, your brain keeps it for a longer time. 2. Connect words with pictures. Our brains love pictures. If you learn the word apple, do not only write the Turkish meaning. Instead, draw a small apple or imagine a red apple in your mind. When you see the picture, the word comes faster. You can also use flashcards with pictures. On one side, you put the picture, and on the other side, the word. This is more powerful than only reading translations. 3. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Repetition is very important. You cannot learn a word after reading it only once. You must repeat it many times. But be careful. Repetition does not mean reading the same list 20 times. It means using the word in different situations. For example, Day 1. Write 3 sentences with the word. Day 2. Use the word in a short conversation. Day 3. Hear the word in a video or song. Day 4. Write a small story with the word. When your brain meets the same word many times, it becomes automatic. 4. Speak with friends. Speaking is one of the best ways to make words automatic. Find a friend who also learns English. Choose 5 new words and try to use them in a short conversation. For example, if the words are movie, ticket, watch, evening, funny, you can make a dialogue. A. Do you want to watch a movie this evening? B. Yes, but I need a ticket. A. Okay, I can buy tickets. I like funny movies. This way, you do not only know the words, you also use them in real life. 5. Relax when speaking. Sometimes, words do not come because you are nervous. If you relax, your brain works better. When you speak, smile, breathe, and think. It is okay to make mistakes. If you relax, the words will come more easily. Remember, communication is more important than perfection. 6. Make word families. Another useful technique is making word families. For example, take the word teach. You can also learn teacher, teaching, student, lesson. When you connect words together, you remember them more easily. 7. Learn words in context. Do not learn words alone. Learn them in a story, a dialogue, or a situation. For example, instead of learning only airport, learn it in a sentence. I went to the airport to take a plane. Context makes the word more meaningful. 8. Use English every day. Try to make English part of your daily life. Write your shopping list in English. Talk to yourself in English for 2 minutes. Listen to a short English song. Small habits every day help your memory more than long study only once a week. Remembering is a process. Learning words is like planting seeds in a garden. At first, you put the seed in the ground. You water it, but you see nothing. After some days, a small plant grows. Later, it becomes a big tree. Words are like seeds. At first, you forget them. Then, with practice and use, they grow stronger in your memory. Finally, you can use them without thinking. So, do not be angry when you forget a word. Instead, use the techniques, sentences, pictures, repetition, speaking, relaxing, families, context, and daily English. These will make your word memory strong. Part 4. What to do during conversation. Sometimes, even if you practice a lot, you forget a word while speaking. This is very normal. Every English learner experiences this. The important question is, what can I do when this happens? 1. Use simple words. If you forget a word, do not stop speaking. You can use simpler words. For example, if you forget expensive, say not cheap. If you forget angry, say not happy. If you forget restaurant, say place to eat. People will understand you, and your conversation can continue. The goal is to communicate, not to be perfect. 2. Explain the word. If you forget the exact word, try to explain it with other words. For example, you forget umbrella. You can say, it is something you use when it rains. You forget glasses. You can say, I wear it to see better. Explaining words with other words is very effective. People usually understand what you mean. 3. Use body language. Gestures and body language help a lot. If you forget a word, move your hands, point, or act out the meaning. For example, if you forget run, move your hands like running. This helps both you and the listener. Body language is natural. Even children use it when they do not know a word. 4. Ask for help. Do not be afraid to ask. You can say, how do you say, in English? I forgot the word. Can you help me? Most people like to help. They understand that you are learning English. Asking for help is a normal part of communication. 5. Keep speaking. Do not stop your conversation for a long time. If you forget a word, skip it, continue, and maybe return to it later. For example, you want to say, I went to the supermarket and bought vegetables and something else. Continue. I bought bread too. Later, you remember the missing word. I bought milk too. The important thing is not stopping. Conversation is more important than one word. 6. Use synonyms. Sometimes you forget a word, but you can use a similar word. For example, forget happy. Use good or fine. Forget fast. Use quick. Forget sad. Use not happy. Synonyms help you communicate without stopping. 7. Prepare some phrases. Before speaking, you can prepare some useful phrases for situations. For example, in a restaurant, I want. Can I have? How much is? At school, I don't understand. Can you repeat, please? Meeting friends. I like. I want to go. Prepared phrases make it easier when you forget a word. Your conversation will continue smoothly. 8. Accept mistakes. Finally, accept that mistakes are part of learning. Everyone makes mistakes. Even native speakers forget words sometimes. Smiling and continuing makes your conversation natural. Learning English is not about speaking perfectly. It is about making people understand you. When people understand, your goal is complete. Practice example. Imagine this short conversation. A. Yesterday I went to the, I forget the word. B. The cinema? A. Yes. I went to the cinema. Thank you. Here, forgetting the word does not stop the conversation. Using simple words, gestures, or asking helps. Summary. During conversation. 1. Use simple words. 2. Explain the word. 3. Use gestures. 4. Ask for help. 5. Keep speaking. 6. Use synonyms. 7. Prepare phrases. 8. Accept mistakes. When you use these strategies, your conversations become smoother. Forgetting words will happen less often, and you will feel more confident. Part 5. Building confidence and habits. In the previous parts, we learned that forgetting words is normal, we understood the reasons, and we saw how to remember words better. In this final part, we will learn how to build confidence and good habits to speak English more easily. 1. Daily practice. The most important habit is practice every day. You do not need to speak for hours. Even 5 to 10 minutes a day is enough. For example, speak to yourself in English. Today I eat rice. I go to the park. Write a short diary in English. Today I went to the supermarket. I bought apples. Read a short text and repeat some sentences aloud. Daily practice helps your brain remember words better. Words become automatic, and you forget them less. 2. Review old words. Do not only learn new words. It is important to review old words regularly. Many learners forget old words because they never use them. You can make a small notebook. Write new words and old words. Every week, read the notebook and say the words aloud. Make sentences with old words. Reviewing old words helps your memory become stronger. 3. Listen more. Listening is very important. When you hear words many times, you remember them better. For example, listen to English songs and repeat some lines. Watch short English videos or cartoons. Listen to English podcasts for beginners. Hearing the same words in different situations helps your brain remember them faster. 4. Positive thinking. Your thoughts affect your learning. If you say, "I am bad at English," your brain will believe it. You may forget more words because of stress. Instead, say, "I am learning. Every day I improve." It is normal to forget sometimes. Positive thinking reduces stress and helps your memory work better. 5. Celebrate small successes. Every time you remember a word in a conversation, feel happy. Every time you speak without stopping, feel proud. Small successes give motivation to continue learning. For example, you wanted to say, umbrella, and you remembered it. Good job. You used 5 new words in a short conversation. Excellent. Celebrate small successes. They make learning enjoyable. 6. Use English in real life. Try to use English in daily life. Small steps every day are better than one long study session. For example, order food in English. Talk to a friend or a classmate in English. Think in English while walking or cooking. The more you use English in real situations, the less you will forget words. 7. Make learning fun. Learning English should not be boring. Make it fun. Play word games. Watch funny videos in English. Listen to songs and try to sing the lyrics. Fun activities make your brain remember words more easily. 8. Accept your journey. Learning English is like a journey. Sometimes you forget words. Sometimes you make mistakes. This is normal. Everyone has the same experience. Remember, your goal is communication, not perfection. With practice, patience, and good habits, forgetting words will happen less often. You will speak more confidently, and English will become easier. Summary: to forget fewer words and speak more confidently. 1. Practice daily. 2. Review old words regularly. 3. Listen to English often. 4. Think positively. 5. Celebrate small successes. 6. Use English in real life. 7. Make learning fun. 8. Accept mistakes and enjoy the journey. If you follow these tips every day, your brain will remember words more easily. You will forget less, and your confidence will grow. Learning English is a process, and every step counts. For similar content, please like, express your opinions in the comments and do not forget to subscribe.